Welcome guys, thank you so much for joining in. So today, as always, we are going to start our analysis by looking at this price action of Bitcoin in a 4-hour time frame, and also later in this video we are going to look into Ether price actions. So first, let us look at this Bitcoin USD chart here in a 4-hour time frame, because right now if we monitor this price movement, I showed you guys this very simple example, and I also give you a very simple price target label of 37,800 to 37,900 on my yesterday's video. And if you look at this price movement here, we did had a really nice move, and price also came to our exact price target label. So now we want to know what is going to happen next, right? We want to see if this trend still has potential to continue in an upward direction, or are we actually going to look for move here in a downward direction. Because right now if we monitor this ascending channel, this here is clearly a higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern type of scenario. And if you look at this price movement here, this was a clear lower highs, lower low continuation pattern. So what is this actually showing us right now is that now from this lower highs, lower low continuation pattern, from this downtrend, we could be moving in an upper direction. The trend direction has changed here. You can see that very clearly, right? So now this movement here, what is going to happen next? Because for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this trend based Fibonacci extension label, because I want to know which price level to look for in an upside. Because right now if I look at this price action of this ascending channel, let's delete this descending channel, doesn't matter. So you can see guys, now exactly after reaching this 0.618 Fibonacci extension level, right, you can see this line got a perfect rejection also exactly at this 0.618 Fibonacci extension level. So now you can see to the downside, this 0.5 here is acting as a support, right? You can see the price here is holding its ground. So this trend line or this Fibonacci extension level, what we are witnessing is a very important line of support and resistance. Let me show you with this very simple example here. If you monitor this price movement, you can see I told you breaking this price level 34,500, 34,600, there will be more probably a move in an upper direction. And if you look at this here, after breaking this neckline here, we had a move here in an upper direction, because I told you if we are going to break above the 34,500, 34,600, there is a probability of move here in an upper direction. And this is exactly what we are also witnessing with price action of Bitcoin. Previous key level of resistance line, right? Resistance, support, support, again resistance, resistance, resistance. But once we were able to break out of it, we had a really nice move. And look at this extension levels here. These levels are acting as a very strong support and resistance. You can see that very clearly here inside this channel, this rising channel. And also if you look at this price target here, which we talked in my yesterday's video, I told you guys that this 37,800, 37,900 is where we would be looking for. And price it came to the exact level. If this trend is going to continue further in an upper direction, what price level are we looking for? Because if that's going to happen, this 0.786 Fibonacci extension level, which is at 39,663, is where we could be heading next. If we are going to find support at this 0.5 Fibonacci extension level, which is going to be around this 36,955 level. So if we look at this here, does this 0.786 actually make sense? Because if we go back here, right, if you go back here and look at the price movement, which previously acted as a resistance, support, resistance, right? You can see we are somewhere around that level. So this trend line does actually make sense. So we could be getting gravitated towards this upper line area of this 39,663 price level as well. And if this is also going to find support above this trend line, right, it's going to be a slow move and head in the upper direction, then the upper target here is going to be our 100% of Fibonacci extension level. So this 100% here is a move here, this price length here, from the low end to the higher end, right? So if you look at this from where we actually started measuring the length, this must be exactly at the price level. You can see, right, exactly at this 100% Fibonacci extension level. So this here is going to be our upper target level, which is going to be around 41,689 price level. So that was some of the upward price target level for Bitcoin right now. And if this is going to be any sort of a rejection, then guys, we are going to look for this 0.382 Fibonacci extension level to be in a support line, because this 0.5 here around this 36,955 did had a support there. You can see the weak rejection here to the downside. And now if this support is going to get broken, then the lower support is going to be around this lower line of this ascending channel, or this 0.382 Fibonacci extension level, which is going to be around 35,837 price level. So this is a very interesting scenario, because right now if you look at this price structure using only this ascending channel here, right, you can see whenever the price came and tested the upper line area of this ascending channel, we got a rejection. And whenever we came to the lower end area, we found a very strong support. So you can see every time we touched the upper line, we had this price pullback around the lower end area. Came to the upper line, had a price pullback around the lower line area. But what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to show you this price scenario using only this trend line here, this parallel channel so-called, right? So you can see if you monitor this price movement here as well, top area, right, top area, this was also top area, resistance, but once we were able to break out of it, we had a really nice move in an upward direction. You can see that very clearly here, right? So you can see now we are approaching again the resistance line, this previous resistance line. We got a rejection. We can see here we got a rejection, so there might be plenty of attempt to continue before breaking in an upward direction. This is also one scenario that could play out, because you can see now we are getting rejection here, right? Any sort of a pullback or consolidation here, we have to break above this previous key level of resistance. So if we are going to find support above this, then expect another massive move here in an upward direction, reaching our price target of 40,000 to 41,800 price level. Because you can see this scenario here could also be playing out, and if we are going to see any sort of a pullback here, I've already said you, right, this lower line could be acting as a very strong support. And if you want to add again this Fibonacci extension level to see if this actually makes sense, you can see guys, this 0.618 is also exactly this trend line area. So right now, as you can see, these are some of the example I'm seeing looking at the price action of Bitcoin. So now let's switch the chart. So now if we look at this Ether USD starting in a daily time frame, what we can do guys is we can use this ascending channel just like in my previous video, because I told you guys this price movement here was following this scenario here from the past Ether price action, and this is exactly what we are also witnessing right now with Ether breaking out of this upper line of this ascending channel. We had this pullback, and this pullback after finding support at this previous resistance line, I mean the upper line of this ascending channel, we had a really nice impulsive move here in an upper direction. And now if we look at the price structure here of Ether, just like with this previous example, we did break out, right? And if we are going to see any sort of a pullback, then this upper line here is going to act as a very strong support. And if that's going to happen, let's say if this pullback is going to happen just like with the previous example, and then we are going to hit in upper direction, right now I will be looking around this 1540 to 1550 as a very strong support line, because we know this upper line now is going to act as a very strong support, just like here, right? After breaking and finding support above this upper line area, price had a really impulsive move. And this is also exactly what I'm expecting if we are going to see any sort of a movement here to the downside. And what we can also do here is we can add this Fibonacci extension label to pinpoint some area of support and resistance, and also the target area to the upside. Because right now, if you look at this price movement here with this ascending channel, you can see any sort of a price pullback, this line here, this 100% Fibonacci extension level is going to be also there around this 1560. So I said to you guys, if we are going to see any sort of a rejection, then this lower line here, right, and also this upper line of this ascending channel going to be acting as a support, and then I'm actually expecting move here in the upper direction. So looking at this price movement here, right, if this is going to continue, then the upper target here is going to be this 1.618 Fibonacci extension level, which is at 1883 price level for Ether. But does this price target of 1883 actually make sense? What we can do here to find that out, what we can add is this ascending channel. So if you look at this ascending channel scenario, we have also talked about this on my previous video, guys. If you look at this ascending channel, and if you measure the target here, if we are going to see any sort of a breakout, right, and you can see this price target actually does makes a lot of sense. And in that case, we could also be approaching this 0.618 Fibonacci extension level. So now we know this upper target of 1880 actually also makes sense, because this breakout here is flashing that if this is going to continue further, right, if this is going to continue further, then there is a very high probability of price of Ether to continue and come around this 1800 price level in the upcoming days. So right now, looking at this price structure, this is what I see, right? So this is what I see for Ether. And also what we can do is we can add this Ether Bitcoin chart again in our today's episode. So now if you look at this Ether Bitcoin chart, you can see I showed you with different example what I was looking here, right? If you look at this one scenario, this livermore speculative chart, we were heading towards this 0.8 area, and we wanted to actually find out where this 0.8 could be. For that, what I did was I added this ascending broadening wedge. So according to this ascending broadening wedge, if you measure the target here to the upside from this point B to this point E area, the length here to the upside is going to be the target area. And if you look in our case, you can see this point E is where we could be possibly heading according to this Livermore speculative chart. But to find out which label that could be, we have added this ascending broadening wedge. And according to this ascending broadening wedge, the length here from B to E is going to be the target here from this E to the upside. So in that case, I did exactly like this here, what the ascending broadening wedge actually showed. From this point B to this point E area, I measured the length. This is showing us a possible move here in an upper direction around this 0.056 or 0.055 sats. So this is showing us that, hey, Ether compared to Bitcoin still has a lot of potential. At least, let's say if this is not going to play out as a Livermore speculative chart and it's going to play only as an ascending broadening wedge reaching the pointed area, this is still showing that Ether Bitcoin chart right now looks pretty bullish. So this means Ether still has potential to continue further in an upper direction. So right now, this is what I see looking at the price action of Bitcoin, Ether, and this Ether Bitcoin chart. So guys, this is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this video was helpful enough. If that's the case, then hit the like button. Also, if you're watching this for the first time, definitely hit the subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anu. Bye bye.